This is a full story of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. This video covers their entire relationship, from when they first started dating, to their breakup, to the lawsuits that followed. This video is a great way to learn about the inner workings of a celebrity relationship. Let's start. Here is a complete timeline of their tumultuous relationship. In 2009, Depp met Heard on the set of The Rum Diary. Depp started as Paul Kemp, a journalist who takes a job in Puerto Rico in The Rum Diary, based off of Hunter S. Thompson's book of the same name. Thompson was Depp's real-life friend and idol. Heard played Chenault, a woman engaged to another man, who Kemp is immediately smitten with as soon as he sees her. Heard told Vogue in 2011, "Working with Johnny was torture. It was better than I ever imagined," which is really saying something. Depp and Heard were dating by early 2012. In a court filing, Heard wrote that she and Depp began dating around the end of 2011 or the start of 2012. It was also in 2012 that Depp and long-term partner Paradis publicly announced their separation after 14 years of dating. Depp had 2 children with Paradis, Lily Rose, born in 1999, and John Christopher, 2002. Heard split up with partner Tasia Von Rhee at the same time. USA Today reported that Heard was arrested in 2009 on a charge of physically assaulting then-girlfriend Van Rhee at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport in Washington. The two got into a disagreement after Heard allegedly grabbed and hit Van Rhee's arm. All charges were dropped, however, when Van Rhee herself saying that Heard was wrongfully accused by cops who misinterpreted and over-sensationalized the incident. In 2014, Heard was spotted wearing an engagement ring. People magazine reported that Depp and Heard were engaged after a picture emerged of the actress wearing an ornate engagement ring. Depp himself seemed to confirm the engagement in a video interview with the Daily Mail after discussing wedding planning and pointing out that he was wearing a chick's ring on his finger. "It's probably a dead giveaway, isn't it? Not very subtle," Depp said. In 2015, Depp and Heard married in a private ceremony. After several years of dating, Depp and Heard married in a very private ceremony in their home in LA, with people reporting photos. Later in 2015, Depp and Heard breached Australia's biosecurity laws after they failed to declare their dogs, Yorkshire Terriers, when they arrived in the country. They released an apology video together. In 2016, Heard filed for divorce from Depp and accused him of physical abuse. On May 23, 2016, Heard filed for divorce from Depp and, 4 days later, obtained a temporary restraining order against the Oscar-nominated actor. She alleged that Depp had physically abused her during their relationship and said it was usually while under the influence of drugs or alcohol. She alleged that, on May 21st, before filing for divorce, an incident had recently taken place in which Depp threw his phone at her, leaving her with a bruised face. However, a police spokesman told People that an investigation into the domestic incident radio call found that no crime had taken place. Depp denied these accusations and, through his representatives, said Heard was attempting to secure a premature financial resolution by alleging abuse. A $7 million settlement was reached out of court on August 16, 2016. Heard testified under oath at a deposition, but a settlement was eventually reached after she withdrew her request for a domestic violence restraining order. She also rescinded her spousal support request of $50,000 a month. Depp and Heard also released a joint statement saying, "Our relationship was intensely passionate and at times volatile, but always bound by love. Neither party has made false accusations for financial gain." It continued, "There was never any intent of physical or emotional harm." Heard received $7 million from the divorce, but donated it to charity, according to People. In 2017, the divorce was finalized. Depp and Heard's divorce was finalized a year after Heard filed. Heard kept the dogs that were at the center of the 2015 scandal in which the couples failed to declare the animals in Australia. Meanwhile, Depp retained sole possession of all his properties, including his private island in the Bahamas, as well as his collection of classic cars and motorcycles. The Hollywood Reporter reported that a non-disparagement clause was inserted into the settlement that prevented either party from saying anything negative about the high-profile relationship and breakup. In December 2018, Heard wrote an op-ed for the Washington Post saying she was abused. Heard wrote an op-ed for the Washington Post in which she spoke about the treatment of women in domestic abuse cases. In the op-ed, Heard wrote, "I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out." Depp himself was never mentioned by name. On July 7, 2020, the 3-week libel trial began. Depp fought Newsgroup Newspapers, the publisher of The Sun, in court over a 2018 article in which they called him a wife-beater in reference to Depp and Heard's former marriage. Depp sued both the publisher and The Sun's executive editor, Dan Wooten, for libel. Ryder and Paradis both provided statements in Depp's defense. Ryder wrote, "The idea that he is an incredibly violent person is the farthest thing from the Johnny I knew and loved. I cannot wrap my head around these accusations." Meanwhile, Paradis wrote that Heard's accusations are nothing like the true Johnny I have known, and from my personal experience of many years, I can say he was never violent or abusive to me. The trial began in early July and lasted 3 weeks. Depp alleged that Heard defecated in his bed and punched him, which Heard denies. Depp also accused Heard of having extramarital affairs with James Franco and Elon Musk, which Heard also denies. Heard, meanwhile, accused Depp of physically abusing her and has also accused him of throwing a phone at her face, which she says left her bruised. Furthermore, Heard said that Depp threatened to kill her on several occasions. Depp was denied the right to appeal by the court's ruling. Johnny Depp and his legal team had hoped to overturn the court's ruling with an appeal, but in a statement that was made public on November 25th, Judge Nickel refused to grant Depp the permission to appeal against his judgment, saying, "I do not consider that the proposed grounds of appeal have a reasonable prospect of success." The judge also ordered Depp to make an initial payment of £630,000, $841,733, to Newsgroup Newspapers, publisher of The Sun, to cover its legal fees. Depp still has until December 7th to apply for an appeal above Judge Nickel at the Court of Appeal. Heard and Depp's $100 million libel suit began April 11th. Depp and Heard's defamation lawsuit was set to begin on April 11, 2022, at the Fairfax County Courthouse in Virginia. As Insider previously reported, Depp filed the defamation suit against Heard in response to an op-ed she wrote for the Washington Post that detailed her experience with domestic violence. Depp's name isn't mentioned, but the article was widely interpreted as being about him. In January of 2021, Heard countersued Depp for $100 million after her motion to move the case to California was denied. Insider's Zahra Tayeb previously reported that Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk and actor James Franco are among the high-profile celebrities due to testify during the case. Musk and Franco were dragged into the legal dispute after Depp accused Heard of having 2 extramarital affairs with them while she was still with him, Insider previously reported. Page 6 also reported that WandaVision star Paul Bettany, actor Ellen Barkin, and representatives from Disney and Warner Bros. Will give evidence to the court. The publication also reported that new evidence will be introduced in court, including unseen police body cam footage from an altercation between Depp and Heard. A jury found both Johnny Depp and Amber Heard liable for defaming each other. Jurors found both Depp and Heard liable for defamation against each other in a verdict reached Wednesday. They awarded Depp $15 million in damages from Heard and awarded Heard $2 million from Depp, Insider reported. Jurors reached a verdict after 6 weeks of trial testimony and less than 3 days of deliberation. Depp, who is currently playing concerts with Jeff Beck in Europe, was not present in court. Due to previously scheduled work commitments made before the trial, Mr. Depp will not be physically present for today's 3 p.m. verdict and will be watching from the United Kingdom, a spokesperson for Depp told Insider on Wednesday. A spokesperson for Heard criticized Depp for his absence. "Your presence shows where your priorities are," the spokesperson said. Johnny Depp plays guitar in the UK while Amber Heard waits for a verdict in Virginia. Depp is taking his snickering and lack of seriousness on tour. Immediately after the verdict, Heard released a statement on social media, saying in part, "The disappointment I feel today is beyond words. I'm heartbroken that the mountain of evidence still was not enough to stand up to the disproportionate power, influence, and sway of my ex-husband. I'm even more disappointed with what this verdict means for other women. It is a setback," she added. "It sets back the clock to a time when a woman who spoke up and spoke out could be publicly shamed and humiliated. It sets back the idea that violence against women is to be taken seriously." A spokesperson for Depp also reacted to the verdict in a statement with Insider, saying in part, "6 years later, the jury gave me my life back. I am truly humbled." From the very beginning, the goal of bringing this case was to reveal the truth, regardless of the outcome, the statement continued. "Speaking the truth was something that I owed to my children and to all those who have remained steadfast in their support of me. I feel at peace knowing I have finally accomplished that." I hope you guys surely like and enjoy our video. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for upcoming videos. Thanks for watching!